Hello, everyone. Darren here, and this is the 31st installment of the Map Awareness series. Yeah, we're just going to be getting into some gameplay here. This is by Pontiac Pat, another assistant of mine who has given me some footage to use in lieu of capture card still being out of my possession at this point in time. He's in a very rare vehicle. Maybe it's rare in terms of at least how frequently you see it. This is a Bulwark. I believe this is a Tier 5 mercenary heavy tank. Nothing about this vehicle says it's a heavy tank other than, I guess, the weight classification at this tier. But, I mean, it's a T-43 thing. Yeah, it's a T-43 hull chassis with a Czech T-40 turret, I think. And it's got, I don't even know exactly what gun it is. I think it's like a 2-pounder gun with the Little John adapter from the Matilda. So, yeah, I mean, everything is taken from a medium tank, like all the parts here. So, really, it's just kind of like a big, slow, medium tank for this tier. Anyway, he's on Malinovka Winter. It's a standard battle, and he's in the North Spawn. Now, you're going to see here that really it's kind of just going to be one of these like maps where it's like we don't really have the speed to move, but we also can tell that we are clearly going to lose the riverside in this weird winter map that I absolutely hate. I hate the winter map. Seems like it screwed up the meta of what was Malinovka. Kind of just became this weird thing where the metas flip-flopped everywhere and things like that. In this case, there are two very important flanks on the map. There's the hill that is still very relevant and important, and then, of course, there's the frozen river I wish would thaw, that, you know, occasionally everyone will go to, no one will go to, or sometimes you get like a healthy mix. In this case, on his in his game, he has the middle option where like almost no one goes there. And so that pretty much allows the other team to just steamroll that flank and take it. And in this situation, realizing that he doesn't really have the speed to get up to the hill, but he does have, in this case, pretty much the armor, at least when you're facing like other Tier 5s. Tier 7s probably are going to be used to dealing with this type of armor scheme, at least from these specific vehicles. And the Tier 4 gun, that is this like 22-pounder Little John thing, could be wrong on the caliber. This gun's pretty scary against lower tiers. Upper tiers is kind of just like, you know, you're getting pecked by a mosquito, to be honest. I mean, it's not really that annoying, but again, if left alone, it's going to just eat away at you. So really, smart move to just sit at the back and just kind of be the rear guard in this situation. He didn't go to the flank and just get annihilated, but he isn't going to. He knows that he can't go all the way up to the hill, so he's going to be that rear guard. The one thing I absolutely do have to kind of just call him out on is the lack of situational awareness. In that case, don't do what he did where, you know, maybe he got distracted by something. I can't really blame him if he did get distracted by something, but I mean, like, I would be checking that mini-map like every other second, and I would have noticed that light tank creeping up on my RD, on the friendly RD, a whole lot sooner and reacted a whole lot quicker. In this case, he kind of just, it's almost like he didn't realize it till the base started being capped, and then even then it still seemed a little weird. So that's the only thing I got to really call out on, and I mean, that's a lesson there. You know, do check your map, because then situations like that happen where you completely lost your RD support. Now, again, as you're going to see here against these T1 heavies, and I think maybe an M6, I can't quite tell. They also both look the same. As we can see this 2-pounder with the Little John adapter just doing some mean work, and he's not even hitting the premium rounds. This thing is able to just chew through you at like a rate of fire, you know, almost unseen by any other gun. But, you know, it just doing work. And I mean, the Panzer 5.4 almost had no idea what hit him. He just got, eaten away in like 6 seconds, if that. But again, smart move being the rear guard here. Team is on the losing end, and unfortunately, there's really not entirely his fault. Maybe if he managed to go up to the hill, he could have done something. But at the same token, if he wasn't here to just kind of delete everything, or gradually delete everything, the game probably would have been over a whole lot sooner because they would have capped the base. So, really, it's kind of like lesser of two evils, to be honest. At this point, he's probably going for personal, best, I guess. But, of course, still, he's trying to win. What you saw there is another thing I'd like to point out. If you have the ammo to do this, and the ammo is relatively inexpensive, you could straight up waste it going through objects. In this case, he was going through a building. Now, again, it's a 2-pounder, and it doesn't really have a huge huge explosive payload against a building, but over time, he can slowly erode away the building and get rid of the cover that the heavy tank was hiding behind. Managed to at least get rid of the heavy tank. Now he's got a pesky setter to deal with. Again, another thing where it's like, if you got a ton of ammo, sure, why not? In this situation, though, I would not be just holding RBRT and firing away. Not really the smartest move, especially if you're just going to spam gold. Of course, if the gold is inexpensive, I mean, you do you, I guess. Anyway, though, this particular situation could have probably been solved a lot quicker if you just aimed in, didn't zoom in, but you aimed in and were just manually leading the target. This was a pretty prime example of why you don't just RBRT, because it doesn't account for lead, it doesn't account for any other factor other than just aim center mass and hope it hits. And as you can see, doing RBRT in that type of situation of just casually hitting it clearly did not have, the desired effect, and more of just kind of suppressed him and kept him moving. It really would have been over a lot quicker if you just aimed. Now, I'm just coming up here and stuff. I'm going to keep talking, but I would like to mention that because this actually goes all the way to the end, spoiler alert, not going to say the result, I am going to cut out at certain segments here just to save time. I think I only cut this out once. But just in case I cut it out more than once, just wanted to let you be aware. So, anyway, we're, again, it's kind of a 2v2 here. It's pretty close right now. I had no idea. It looked like he switched ammo multiple times there, but I mean, it's not really a big deal because his ammo gets reloaded in like a second and a half. But, at this point here, I do have to commend him for the smart choice of being the vanguard. I think the right term is vanguard, right? I think it was like an MMO, RPG, role title. I don't play those games, like board game, League of Legends things. I don't know what it is. I'm just going to the vanguard, rear guard. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. Please, if you know what I should be saying, please feel free to mention it in the comments. So, I mean, again, the gun doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but, the amount of rounds he's put on target, he's sitting at 1844 in terms of raw damage. I don't have this vehicle. I don't play the Matilda, so I don't really know what is a respectable damage level. Unfortunately, low tiers are like my least knowledgeable tier, simply because I went through them and never really bothered because it's just chaos. I like organized chaos. I don't like just straight chaos. So, yeah. Now, what we're doing right now here, I would also have to say this is a very, very good thing to be doing, especially in a close game like this. That's sticking with your buddy. It's, going off on your own. There is that chance that you risk going in a 2-on-1 situation, or you just end up being outgunned or out-healthed, or out DPM'd, and you have no support. Especially with an OI, it's kind of like complementing each other. He's got The OI's got the armor, but it's slow, and the bulwark moderately faster, I believe, but it's got the reload and the round, so it's kind of like complementing each other. So sticking with each other is a good thing to do, because I mean, at least if you did come across something, you could hide and use the OI as cover. No, he's splitting off here, um, just so that way both aren't spotted at the same time, and to kind of just see if they're hiding back over here in the corners, anywhere like that. Um, but yeah, right now it's just kind of like just playing this hunter-killer game with the other ones. Unfortunately, yeah, one or both of them are still hiding back here, and the OI got hit and lit on fire. Taking a guess of where he probably got hit from, Pontiac is doing another good thing of getting farther away, getting cover in between him. Now that the arty has at least been spotted, he is going to go and try and approach from a different angle. Luckily, Pat wasn't spotted, so that kind of works out in his favor more. Someone on the team apparently is pinging possible location of where he got hit from, so that means that teammate more or less was paying attention to where he got hit and where the rounds came from, which is good. Sometimes it's very good to pay attention to those pings, and more, because sometimes those could be actually giving away, hey, I think the enemy's over here, keep an eye out. It doesn't always mean it's an angry ping. It might just be, hey, enemy's over here. And in this case, kind of like it being the pinging thing being broken, in this type of situation, I guess is good, But as we can see, going a different direction, breaking off, finding a different angle to approach from, paid off. Artie was not ready at all, and he just gets eaten alive. So yeah, unfortunately, the TD is still hiding around over here. So, taking a guess of where he's waiting. He's still targeted. He's still lit. He just kind of was hesitating a second to see if it was just, the dead tank still broadcasting his location, or if he was actually being targeted, and then he breaks off. Coming up here, I do cut this, as you can see. Nothing happened here. It just literally was them playing cats and mouse, and this is kind of where, like, which team did the most damage comes into play. This is a tiebreaker type of thing, and in this situation, unfortunately, this was a very, very close defeat. Nothing you can do because you didn't know the health pool of the other TD, and it was just kind of coming down to a guess game here. Capping would not have been a good idea because you would have given your location. The TD probably would have spotted you before you spotted him. But nonetheless, the game was good. He had 5 kills, and he came up 3rd place on the MVP with a loss. So nonetheless, it was a pretty good game. We're going to see here in the results screen, he did 2k raw damage, and he got a nice good slew of medals and a mastery badge. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. And that concludes today's video on the Map Awareness series. I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to subscribe. But until next time, this has been Darren of WotC Academy.